Today, I'm going to talk about something that may sound a little counterintuitive. Why husbands should stop being loyal to their wives. Before you get up in arms, hear me out. Early in my relationship, I used all my warrior energy to stay committed. It took every fighting ounce of my body to try to stay committed because even though I loved my wife and I thought she was beautiful, there's beautiful women everywhere. There's temptations everywhere. There's scantily clad women everywhere you look, and on social media and on television and in movies, and there's easily accessible pornography, and there's all these things that take your minds to these places everywhere you look. So it took every bit of my warrior energy to try to fight all that stuff off, and I wasn't doing the best job of it. I was letting thoughts and ideas creep into my mind that were compromising the position that I was supposed to play as husband. But what I've learned over time, seeing the spirituality in your relationship, seeing the divinity in your union, seeing the highly inspired, divinely inspired, the highest level of coexistence in the universe, two people who love each other. True maturity was committing to that. True maturity was being faithful to the divinity of our union. Not so much her, not so much the individual. And then as I continued to mature, I realized I was actually being faithful to myself. I was being faithful to my morals. I was being faithful to my deepest values. I'm faithful to the responsibility that I have. I'm faithful to the way my children look at me. I'm faithful to the role that I promised to play and the way in which I promised to play it. I'm faithful to that. Above and beyond her as an individual, whom I love, of course. But I'm faithful to that. So that way, when her and I have an issue, we've been married over 20 years. When her and I fall out, or when her and I have a disagreement, or she's a person too, and believe it or not, when she does something that falls short, instead of justifying some less than ideal behavior on my part, I'm faithful to those roles. I'm faithful to the divinity of our union. I'm faithful to the position that I've been given. I'm faithful to that. And I'll always be faithful to that. Not being faithful to that is a reflection of me. I wish a lot of fellas out there understood that. When you say you're going to do something and you fall short of that, that's a reflection of you. It doesn't have anything to do with your wife. Or we didn't have sex as much as we want, or we were arguing, or she did this, so I did that. No. That's punk stuff. Everything you do or fail to do is a reflection of you. So in order to be in this position, in this first generation father position, we have to be of extremely high character. We have to be of the highest character. And you can't be that way until you control every single thought and action that you have. For a long time, I compromised on my thoughts. And it's funny because I talk in the book, a lot of my leadership skills that I learned from my family, I learned them in the military. I learned them becoming an officer. I learned them being a soldier in the Army. And when I went through officer candidate school, we had a phrase, standards, no compromise, no compromise. So now as a husband and a father, I encourage you as you go out into this world and thoughts are pulling you every which way, be the man that you said you would be. No compromise. That's beyond being loyal to any individual person. It's being loyal to your deepest integrity. It's being loyal to what you know is right. All this other going on in the world, let them keep it. It's not for you. You're called for something better, or else you wouldn't be listening to this. So go out into the world, stay loyal to the highest version of yourself, stay loyal to the most moral version of yourself, the most encouraged, the most correct version of yourself. Stay loyal to the God-given gift that you have of your relationship and the person you love. Stay loyal to that, and you can't go wrong because everything connects. Peace.